Okay, so this is Worldview. Is a project is this is work in progress still, and right now it currently is just focused on the area surrounding Iran and the immediate surrounding area around Iran. So if we take a look at the interface first, we can see that there's these categories or tabs over here. Here we can just change some basic coloring of the screen and how things are laid out or designated as far as color goes. And here under map style we can see satellite if we want to look at more of a kind of a Google Earth view. Here's a street view if we wanted to see more road callouts and maps. And I just prefer to use dark mode. It seems to be most pleasant on the eyes. So right below the data map style we have the data layers. We have the aircraft, vessels, satellites, earthquakes, bases, Hormuz, the highlight, which is this box, and airspace and weather. These are just the things that you see active in color on the screen that are being tracked and monitored in real time. These are all accurate to an extent. There's some GPS jamming going. I should say there's a lot of GPS jamming going on in this area. So there are occasional glitches where it's going to show the location of something being off over like a submarine over here in the land, which obviously is going to be false information, but that's most likely due to the significant amount of GPS jamming that is currently going on. To clean up the interface, we can turn off the satellites, which are these little purple dots here. So we can turn those off. We can turn off earthquakes and turn off weather. I don't believe weather is actually connected to anything, so that's not really a functional data layer anyways. And I'll turn off airspace just to kind of clean up what we're looking at. And so now if we look at the map, anything that you see on here is actually clickable to find out more information. Like this one right here, we'll click on it. This is a Iranian, looks like the text is very small. I apologize about that. Looks like it's an S789F9. Call sign is Phoenix 77. And there's sometimes there'll be some more information that you can click on if there's a link in here. Sometimes that's just the details that it'll give you selecting on it. You can also look over on the right side. We have our alerts panel. Right now it's going over general alerts. If we select air, it's going to be calling out everything that's detected in that area. And if we mouse over it and just kind of move the mouse down the list, you can see the map is actually zooming and panning over to highlight the item that we're mousing over, which is kind of a cool way to see where things are laid out. And here is our sea tracker list, which is all the vessels, cargo ships, submarines, military ships, and same with satellites, but we have satellites turned off, so we're not going to be seeing anything there. And this is our seismic alerts. I'm going to go ahead and collapse that panel for now. And over here, back on the left side, we have our tools panel. The tool panel has obviously just a zoom in and zoom out, so it allows a little bit more fine tuning as far as the navigation and looking around the map. You can click and drag. You can also use the mouse wheel button, the scroll wheel, but it seems to be more precise if I can just click over here. Reset just takes us back to our default framing of the map. And 3D view opens up another window where we can access Google Earth and see this area in 3D Google Earth view. Radio scanner doesn't seem to be working at the moment. I have to reconnect that. I'm not sure why it stopped working with this latest version. Intel reports is pretty interesting. We select on it and then you see it's actually hiding behind this panel, so we can collapse this. We're not able to see the very top 3 items, but for the most part we can see the Intel reports as they're coming in. I'll fix this placement of this panel so we'll be able to see it clearly, and you can click on any of these to see the sources of the Intel report. The Intel reports are basically coming from the U.S. government or the governments of Iran or the governments from these countries in the surrounding area. And there's all sorts of different kinds of intel that's coming out that you can access through here, and you can get a summary. If you select one and say view source, it should take you to the source for that that Intel report. Scrolling, if we go back to our tools menu, I can close Intel reports and pull up newsfeed. And newsfeed will bring us just any kind of news sources that are coming from sources of news and reporting that is coming from the area. It's just sometimes it's interesting to see what other countries are reporting, and all that's selectable here. And clicking on it takes you straight to their website, which we don't need to go into right now. But continue on with tools, we have see our newsfeed. We have playback and record. Now this is a little confusing, and I'm going to change the wording on this. But playback doesn't play back your recordings. What it does is it plays back. It allows you to go back if, say, something happened this morning, and you wanted to be able to look at it and see what it looked like and what the activity was. You can actually go back into time and reload a previous segment of time to see the activity on the map, which is kind of cool. Record actually will record your screen in case you want to use this for a presentation or any kind of reporting or video to post on social media or something like that. You can hit record, and it will actually allow you to record your screen and save it out when you're done as an MP4 file. The threat matrix is just kind of self-explanatory. It just lists what status the current threat level is for the different categories. We have like GPS jamming, cyber threats, air defense, naval, missile, and I forget what LINT was. Electronic intelligence monitoring is active, and it shows that it is it's currently active. It was elevated earlier, so that's interesting that it changed to just monitoring. And here we can see the number of different alerts that are coming in, and this will open up our alerts panel on the right again also. So yeah, feel free to look around. It's pretty interesting to be able to see. It looks like it's been doing. I believe the Iran vessels are the smaller red arrows. Iran aircraft are the larger red arrows, and the U.S. is in blue for smaller arrows for U.S. vessels, and larger arrows for the U.S. in blue aircraft. And you can see if you click on it, it'll actually tell you some details on these as well. Let's see, this one's not military, so it's a civil aircraft. So here we can see if we select this one, we can see this is an Iranian vessel. It's pretty interesting to be able to see there's some submarines in here. Like this one right here is an Iranian submarine. I believe Iranian submarine. Yeah, Iranian submarine. And there was some U.S. ships I saw were here earlier. This is a plane. It looks like it's a civil plane. But yeah, just wanted to share this with you. This is kind of cool. Threw this together using Claude. This wasn't my original idea. This was a project that was inspired by another YouTuber's project and demonstrating what he had done with AI in a short period of time. And he encouraged people to go ahead and try it out themselves and to do something similar. I wanted to see the capabilities and how much work needed to go into actually implementing this. I did this in the first version took about 20 minutes and it was functional. Subsequent versions had taken more time to kind of really dial things in. I still have some cleanup to do as far as the interface and layout goes. One more thing I want to mention, these little squares actually are either webcams or CCTV feeds that are being broadcast publicly, so you can click on them and it'll take you to a site where you can view that webcam, which is kind of neat to be able to see in real time what's going on over there. Yeah, so that's it. Enjoy. Right now it's at 3dchris.com/dev/worldview/Iran. I'll try to get a more concise URL for it soon. And that's it. And I'll put a link down below to the original project that was the inspiration for this project. All right, thank you.